you live?
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadosh.
double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Since we the hot topic of the current events now, you know, apparently now everybody knows and is interested in the Hebrew Israelites, really because of the situation with Kyrie and Yang. All right, but that's okay. All right, this is supposed to happen. The scriptures say it, you know, because at the end of the day, the scripture, matter of fact, can we actually get that? In 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. The Lord said that he would send out the prophets last, okay, as it were appointed unto death. And so that's why you've had a lot of different groups, as well as a lot of different so-called leaders, okay, that have come out. Also, what's that, Jeremiah 23? That goes into the false leaders of our people, all right, that have come out. And ultimately, none of them came, they all came and they had different agendas, you know, they did things here and there, but the truth is what's coming out now. Actually, also, can we get a Matthew 25? All right, because now is the time that prophecy is being fulfilled. And a major prophecy that's being fulfilled is this right here, okay, pertaining to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. So whatever you guys got, whoever got what first.
1 Corinthians 4.
Yep, get that.
1 Corinthians 4, verse 9. For I think that the Most High has set forth us, the apostles, last.
Right, and an apostle is one that's sent away, okay? And that's what we do. That's what we are. We're sent out to come and teach the word of the Lord, to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And indeed they are lost. But now people are starting to wake up. But you got to keep in mind, also, see, we get 1 Peter 3 in the last days, scoffers out. Because you got to keep in mind that the more this gets out there, the more people are going to come up with their own mindset and ideas and thoughts on what here it is. You wake up a month ago and you come in and telling us, no, you guys got it all wrong. You got to stop it. This is really what it's about. That's not what the scripture said. I was watching a video that was done by it was a response that Elder Apostle Tahar did, somewhat of a response to the video that Elder Yashwamba did, where you got this Judite, which I think he did that response to the video Elder Manata Zakba did, which you got this Judite woman, of course it's a Judite woman, not proudly on camera with her face. She's the expert. She's the master teacher expert. She's gonna teach us everything, you know, which I'm pretty sure a year, 2, 3 years ago, she didn't even know what this was. But she gonna come and tell, no, you got Hebrew Israelites that come and say that if you're not a Hebrew Israelite, then you know you can't. You know, it's breaking his back. The old ass back and he seated everything. But if you're not a Hebrew Israelite, you can't be a part of this. Well, that's not what Scripture says. Well, what do you know about Scripture? A couple years ago, God knows what you do in your regular life. You come out here, that's not what Scripture says. Anybody asks you. You know, nobody cares what you have to say. We care what the Scriptures say, and that's what we teach. That's our job. All right, and it does get you frustrated because it's like, of all people, things are already happening. We don't need your input. Okay, if the Most High wanted your input, he would have set you up. And if you got such great input, why don't you go out there and teach? But they'll put up these short ass clips like there's some deep master teachers. Well, where's your consistency at? If you're a deep master teacher and you're gonna teach us everything, or you're gonna teach us the truth of the matter, then teach us the whole truth. Go into the scriptures from Genesis to Revelations. Go into the scriptures and bring out edification every day. Bring out daily edification and teach us, because you're the real teachers. All right? And like the elder said, when all hell breaks loose, they're going to find themselves in a very, very, very tough situation. Okay? Jacob's trouble is going to have a field day on these women and these men. If you're not of the elect, you ain't making it. And that's not, you get mad at us like we made that up. That's been in the book since the book was written. You know, we didn't come and take those, well, no, erase this and put this in here. We didn't do that. All we did was we went into the book and we're explaining what it actually says.
I forgot which precept it was, but scriptures say no scripture is of private interpretation.
Exactly. All right. So we're giving you the interpretation, not what we think it is, but what it actually is. And if you don't believe it, that's fine. We're not here to convince you. We're just here to give you the message. Now, whether you can receive it or not, that's up to you. That's between you and the Most High. Our job is just to come out and give the message. All right.
2nd Ezra 15, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
Well, let's get that. You know, and finish on that. Yep.
It says, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
Exactly. We're made a spectacle unto the world and to angels and to men. That's why people are breaking their necks. Okay, they're looking like, what's that? What's going on? Oh, those are them, you know? And then all the different conclusions start being drawn inside of their minds.
I got the word for spectacle in the Greek.
Mhm.
It says theatron. Theatron. And it says a theater, a place in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited and public assemblies held.
That's right.
A metaphor. It says a public show, metaphorically, a man who is exhibited to be gazed at and made sport of.
There you go. And that's exactly what they do. And the Apostle Paul, I believe, he said, it pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching, right? Because when we come out here, the way we look to this world is foolish, right? They're like, what the hell? That's why it's a spectacle, because it's unusual. People don't usually come out like that. So when they see, well, what are these guys? It's like everywhere you go, there's something going on. Because you the street corners with these garments on, with Bibles in their hands, and you know, everywhere you go, they just say, what's going on? But the Lord set it up that way to be a spectacle and a witness. Because right now, people will say, oh yeah, I see them all the time. But just those words alone, they don't realize that that's going to be a testimony against them. Because if you see them all the time, if you see us all the time, and yet you never repented, when all hell breaks loose and the doors of mercy close, you got no excuse. Because now you can't say, oh, I didn't know. You said you saw them all the time. That was it on that?
Oh yeah, the verse right after plays into that woman, the book of women. It says, we are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
Yep, and that is that we are despised. All right, we're despised for telling the truth. That shows you how sick of a world this is. We're despised for telling the truth. And anybody that tells the truth, you see the same. It doesn't matter from whether you are a so-called, and you know what? This shows you that it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or an athlete or whatever you are. You still ain't really nothing. You really don't have power and authority. They can still bend you to their will, just like they're doing. See, the problem with the problem they're having is we don't care. You're not in control of us. You know, you can't take away stuff from. Oh well, I'm gonna take this away from you. Well, what do we do? Well, we're not, you know, in these high positions. But even still, it goes to show you that it doesn't matter how influential you are, how liked you may have been, what kind of. We're not condoning that music. It's not ours. All right. But the point is, it doesn't matter, because look at Kanye. Years ago, I mean, pretty much, if you mention Kanye West, people know, oh yeah, that's Kanye, yada yada. But now look at what's going on, because he spoke. Now, you think this would have happened if he spoke against any other people? No. So why is it that there's just one group that if anybody says anything about, whether it's a comedian or whatever it is, if it's a joke, if it's not a joke, you are done. That's it. You're finished. They're going, look at what they're doing to Kyrie. They're not saying, oh, well, this is what you believe in, so we're not cool. No. They said we want an apology. Oh, no, you going to give us that? We don't want that. We want a full-fledged, complete fullness of it. We want you to bend down and bow the knee and kiss our feet, basically. So that we can buck break you in the modern sense in front of public and let everybody know this is what happens when you try to come against it. So you turn around and say you don't control. It's a conspiracy theory for us to say that you control everything, and yet you control everything. It is by your will that Nike says, oh, we're going to drop, you know, Kyrie from whatever, you know, the NBA. Oh, they are in control of these. How is that a CT? But anyway, there's more than
last verse, I'm gonna get it in the NLT, the 13th verse, jump it down a bit.
right.
We appeal gently when evil things are said about us, yet we are treated like the world's garbage.
There you go. We are treated like the world's garbage, but that's okay. It's a balance, right? Because we're treated like the world's garbage, but to the Lord, we're not garbage. You know, and when the time comes when this world gets destroyed and it gets cleansed, you guys are going to be treated like the world's garbage.
Like everybody's trash right up to the present moment.
Would you look? So it's interesting, right? In modern day, in today's day, everybody knows about the apostles and the disciples. Everybody claims to be a believer in the Lord. So why, if that was the case back then, why would the Apostle Paul say that? Why would he be speaking in that way, saying that we are pretty much the world's trash? If everybody, they were so beloved, right? What if the apostles, what they were doing made them so beloved? Why would they feel that way? Why would the apostle Paul write something like that? And look around today. Do you think these modern day pastors are fit that description? No, they don't. They're not treated like the world's trash. We're treated like the world's trash for telling the truth. And that shows you how psychotic this world is. And that's why this place gotta go. All right.
Oh, man.
Come on, let's bring out 2nd Ezra 15. And then what was the other one that you had?
I had Isaiah, I think it was 25.
Okay, let's bring this out and then that and then get back.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
So this black demon coming out and saying that, no, that's not scripture. Who did the Lord send us to? He said, my people, right? No, but that's talking about everybody. If that's talking about everybody, why does the Lord have to specify mine? Mine is possessive, right? All right, let's put it like this. Say you got a wardrobe, right? You go into your closet, all these sneakers are yours. Do you need to specify my sneakers? When would you ever need to specify something is yours or be possessive about something? When it comes to separation, right? If you go to a room and everybody's different, oh no, get me mine. I want my sneakers. But if all of them are yours, why would you need to specify, get me my sneakers? Everything is yours. So why is the Lord here saying my people if everybody's the Lord's people? That doesn't make sense. Now, we're all the Lord's creation, but we're not all the Lord's chosen.
Yeah. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2, and I'm going to go to, where is it? Verse 10. It says, thus saith the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. So it shows you that what? Ezra was commanded to go and speak unto Israel. Now I'm going to jump to verse 33. It says, I, Ezra, received a charge of the Lord upon Mount Horeb, that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord. So these words are for Israel. It's not for everyone. So when it says back in 2nd Ezra 15, it says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. So these words, the prophecies, is for the Israelites. It's not for everybody. Although we are prophets unto the nations, but specifically beginning with Israel.
Sure. Oh, and in Amos, did you mention that? Amos 3 and 1. No, the 3 and 1 talks about only you have I known of the families of, yep. So, I mean, the thing is, the Most High is the one who declares it. He makes it clear. The Most High is the one that chose. He did the choosing. He did the picking. Okay? But yeah, let's did we finish on that?
Verse 2, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 2. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
So the words of the Lord are faithful and true, and we have them today because he had them written on paper and preserved from generation to generation to generation. That's why in this day and age we have scriptures to make reference back to. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
So the disbelief, the unbelief of these people is not supposed to trouble us. We're not supposed to, this person doesn't think well of me, so you're not going to be able to please everybody on the earth. If you want to live your life that way, then you can't really live your life. You're going to be living the life others want you to live. All right? But we're not here to live the life others want us to live. We're here to live the life the Lord wants us to live. But that's why I said, right? Spectacle, right?
Was she
You
waving?
think she actually wanted to? Yeah, she waved. You think she actually wanted to say hi, hello? No. Because it's like when you go to the zoo and then you see like a gorilla sign and you want its attention, you want to see a do sign, so then you go like that. But that's okay. Go on.
Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right, we got to make our foreheads hard against theirs. This is why the Lord emphasized seeking the kingdom of heaven first. As a matter of fact, and we get that too, I think it's Matthew either 6 or 5 and around the 27th verse on down. Okay? Because the Lord understood and he let us know that, look, if you try to seek, approval, acceptance, success in this world, you can't do that and serve the Lord. You can't serve Mammon and serve the Lord, because at one point, one master is going to require you to do one thing, when you got to do another. So if you look at it, the situation that Ye and Kyrie are in, if they really want to stand up for what they believe in, they got to be willing to lose everything. Okay, for the Lord or for what they believe in, because you can't. They're showing you that you can't do both. You either gonna, because they're saying that, look, they pretty much want him to denounce any beliefs he has that they deem to be anti-Semitic. But that's subjective. He could say that, well, I believe that I descend from, no, that's anti-Semitic. Well, who's determining what is anti-Semitic and what is not? They are. So that means that, that's like if I had the power to determine what is dangerous, right? And I had the ability to say, anybody that is dangerous, I can lock them up. When you take danger from being subjective to objective, or objective to subjective, then I can tell you anything is dangerous. You look at me the wrong way, no, that's dangerous, throw them in jail. You drive in your car, I don't like your car, that's dangerous, throw them in jail. You breathe in air, that's dangerous, throw them in jail. Believe it or not, you go into jail. See, that's the problem. So what now oh, well, they said I'm in jail. Why are you in jail? Because I just signed dangerous. What did you do? I was breathing too much. Because they're the ones determining it. So now you got to realize, so anything they say, even if it's not, breathing too much is not, if you breathing next to me, I can't say that's dangerous. So that's like saying, it doesn't matter if you tell the truth or not. If we say that is anti-Semitic, then it's anti-Semitic. Then you're not dealing with facts. You're just prioritizing one's opinion over facts. All right, what we got?
Matthew.
All right.
Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
Yeah, see, when you have a master, right? When you have a master, actually, can we look that up in the online etymology? Master. Let's see what the definition of a master is. Okay, one that is over you, which you are subject onto to a certain extent, depending on what kind of master or lord they are. Right.
Blue letter.
Okay. Yeah.
It's G. The word for master is G2962 Kyrios, and it's Kyrios.
Yep. I guess that's the word that Apostle went into that.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. I didn't even. Wow.
Yeah, that's heavy. I didn't even know. He to whom a person or thing belongs.
But you look at that. So now let's do the reasoning in the scriptures, right? You can't have two masters. You can't serve two masters. How do you belong to one and belong to the other at the same time? So if one master tells you go left, the other master tells you go right, what are you doing? Who's really your master? If you go left, then the one who told you to go left is your master. If you go right, then the one who told you to go right is your master. And if you don't go anywhere, then clearly none of them are your masters. See? So that's why you can't have two masters. Because at some point, one is going to tell you to do one thing, and another is going to tell you to do another, and you got to make a decision. And that's where they're at. That is the penalty for telling the truth. You got to be in it all the way, or you know what I mean? If you try to go halfway with it, you're going to be stuck in a dangerous place. There's more.
About which he has power of deciding, master, lord, the possessor and disposer of a thing.
Did you look at that?
The owner.
The owner.
One who has control of the person, the master.
That's it. So you gotta ask yourself, who is your master? Okay, that's a good question. That's the title right there. Who is your master? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. And your master should be Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And once you find out who your master is, that's who you're subject to. The will of your master is what you do, and everybody has a master. You got people that go around, no, nobody tells me what to do. No, somebody tells you what to do. At some level in your life, there's somebody that's telling you what to do. When you're a child, it's your parents. As you grow up, you go to school, it's your teachers. When you go to work, it's your whoever is your supervisor or whatever the case is. But ultimately in life, it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. As a matter of fact, real quick, can we get Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and the first verse? I believe it's 12 and 1, right? The whole duty of man.
I think that's a little
Low, maybe like 12 and 13 or something. All right, but everybody has a master. Okay, you have a landlord. Guess what? He's your master to an extent. Because if he tells your ass rent is this amount, rent is this amount. If you want to stay here, if you under my roof, guess what? You under my rules. So everybody got a master to an extent. Now, if you say you don't got a master, go to work and let your boss tell you, yo, I want you to pick. I need you to, do this or whatever the case is. This is your new assignment. You stand there, you ain't my master. See what happens to you. You might find yourself in HR, or you might just get a termination letter, and find out how free you are.
Or don't pay your taxes.
Yeah. And then tell the tax collectors, the IRS, you ain't my master. When the cops stop you, you drive without a seatbelt on, with no license, run all the red lights you want. Don't stop at stop signs, because you got no master, remember. So when you get stopped, then you tell them you ain't got no master, and see what happens to you.
I believe it's verse
Ecclesiastes.
13.
Finish out the verse.
Verse 13, I believe.
Yeah, you can finish that. Verse 13?
Well,
Psalm 13, okay.
You cannot serve the Most High and Mammon.
Right, you cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. You got to pick one. And it better be the Most High. Because here's the thing about serving the Most High. You don't serve the Most High, you're gonna die. That's your life. Especially if you're an Israelite. And that reigns, or that holds very true in these times the most. If you are an Israelite on the soil of America, even if you're not on the soil of America, but emphasis is if you're in Babylon and you're an Israelite and you don't serve the Lord, you're not gonna make it. That's it, because that's according to prophecy. Only those that are gonna make it are those that serve the Lord. So if you don't serve the Lord, you ain't gonna make it. You're either gonna starve to death, you're gonna get murdered, you're gonna get sliced up, whatever. You're gonna die in a FEMA camp, but you ain't gonna make it. There's more?
That was it.
All right. We finished on this, right? Can we get? I think it's Matthew. Is that the last verse in that chapter?
No, it keeps going on. You want me to keep reading?
What does it say on 27?
27 says, which of you, by taking thought.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Let's pause there. Let's hit this and then we'll come back. And then you just keep reading from where you left off.
All right.
All right.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Mm-hmm. So let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Go on.
Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments.
Fear the Most High, because that's his name, Yahweh, and keep his commandments. And the commandments of the Lord are whatever the Lord commands you to do. So you may, okay, well, I went to the book of the Torah and I read the laws in there. Okay, well, if you go to the New Testament and the Lord tells you, I command you to go out there and teach the law, guess what? That's a commandment. All right? That's an order. And commandments are not debatable. When the Lord, there's a difference between a request and a command. Right? When you are commanded to do something, there's no, oh Lord, can you reconsider? Can we talk it out? Maybe meet at Starbucks and have a little discussion about it? No. Commandment means you are ordered to do this.
Look at Jonah.
Like exactly. Look at Jonah. He tried it, and we can learn from him.
For this is the whole duty of man.
So the whole duty of man is to what? Fear the Lord and keep his commandments. So that means that the Lord is your master.
Right.
Right? Above all else, the Most High is your master from when you are, before you even put on the planet Earth, when you in the spirit world, the Most High is your master up until the day you die. All of your existence, the Most High is your master. That's it. I think that was it on that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we can go on.
Matthew 6 and 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink.
So this is what the Lord was telling the disciples, right? Don't worry about what you're gonna eat, and because when you're in your average life, your day-to-day, what do? You go to work, right? But why do you go to work? You need money to pay bills, to have shelter, to have food, to have all of these things. So the Lord was telling them, don't worry about that. Go ahead.
Nor yet for your body,
Uh-huh.
what ye shall put on.
Uh-huh.
Is not the life more than meat,
Mm-hmm.
and the body than raiment?
Mm-hmm.
Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not.
So the Lord says, look, you don't got to worry about food or clothes or any of these things. For example, look at the birds that fly, right? They sow not. When you sow, that's when you get the seed, right? You have the what do they call that? The plowshare, and you got the oxen. They yoke together, and you break up the earth, and then you drop the seeds up in there, okay? And then you sow. That's what you're doing. You're sowing the seed into the earth, right? And then after a while, the harvest comes, and then you reap what you sow. So the Lord is saying, look, take the birds for example. You don't ever see a bird with a plowshare on his, hopping around with other birds, and he ain't doing that, right? Go ahead.
For they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns.
So you don't ever see a bird sowing or reaping to put inside a barn to store up food, right? But go on.
Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them.
And the reason he gave this example is to emphasize to you that it's not about you going to sow or you going to reap. you get provided your daily bread by the Heavenly Father. Because if this was the case, why do birds not go extinct? Right? If birds needed to sow and reap to survive, why don't they go extinct? Somehow birds are always fed. Because at one point somebody's gonna either throw some breadcrumbs, somebody might spill their food by accident, and birds are always eating because the Most High sets it up that way. Oh, there's this.
Blessings to you all.
You as well.
Thank you.
That's it.
10 commandments, not the 20.
That's it. That's it. That's 613, but that's all right. Go on.
Wow. It says, are ye not much better than they? Which?
So the Lord is saying, look, the Most High feeds the birds, and they don't do nothing. They fly and they do what they gotta do, but they don't, the food just comes. They find it. Wherever they land, they're gonna find something. Right? Now, if you look at a bird versus a human being, is not a human being much greater in importance than a bird?
Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit unto his stature?
So the Lord is saying, ain't none of us got the power to just think, you know, I want to be 6 feet, whatever, then you just grow those. No, you can't. We don't have that ability to do that. Go on. Go ahead.
And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin.
Right. So you never see a lily that is planted on the earth toiling, which means to spin, to make clothes, basically. You know, like you toil to make that yarn, you spin it and all of that. You don't see them doing all that stuff. But for us, in order to get clothes, that's what we have to do. Go ahead.
And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these.
So King Solomon, which was one of the richest kings, the wisest kings, his when he says arrayed, it means clothes. Now, do you think Solomon would have some regular as people making his clothes? Of course not. He would have the best seamstress and weavers and all of that to put together garments for him. And the Lord said, even Solomon, in all his glory, ain't none of his garments were put together as intricately and delicately as a lily. And when you actually look up a lily, you have different colors, and what you can see is the gradation from one color into the next. And it doesn't matter how good you are, how much you cannot mimic such eloquent gradation in color. You can't do it. From one color merge into the other like that, because the Most High clothes the lily. So he's going to show you that, look, it does, even if you try, you can't even come close to what the Most High can do. And that's a lily. Look at how much better a lily is clothed than you. And you worried about, oh, my clothes and all what I'm going to eat and all of these things.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna just, I know the point's gone, but I was gonna go back to the difference between a request and a command.
Oh, yeah.
I just looked up here on Google. It says, would you please make me a sandwich is a request. Requests invite a response of either no or yes. Both responses must be acceptable. Get me a sandwich is a command.
Go. That's it. And that's pretty much it, right? Get me a sandwich. So really, when you command somebody, they ain't supposed to even give you a response. And if they do, it better be okay. There's a difference between yes, no, and okay, right? Okay means, all right, I heard you, I'm going to do it. Yes and no means, yes means I agree, no means I disagree. You know, like the example the brother just read. And the Most High don't ask. You don't need to ask. What you got to ask me for? I'm the Most High, but I want to ask what your thoughts are first. You know, I was planning to bring judgment on you, but I want to know if you like it on Tuesday or Thursday. I got to figure out your schedule. The Most High doesn't do that. Or else he wouldn't be called the Most High. Why would he need your approval? So the Most High commands.
Even with David, when he gave him, the prophet Gad came to him, he gave him a few different choices, but that's David.
Right.
But either way, it was the judgment coming. That's it.
That's it. Because he gave him choices within choices.
Right.
He let him know, I'm gonna let you choose, but only from what I'm gonna let you choose from.
Right.
See, now David couldn't say, "Oh Lord, can we skip the judgments and do the not?" That's not an option. So you pick out, and that's mercy. You see, but even in that, it shows the mindset of David. The Most High was, even in bringing judgment, the Most High was testing David to see, all right, what would you rather? See, he included in there. He said, you know what, Lord, I'd rather fall into your hands. So I'm because I know that I can receive mercy from you. You know, it's like if your parents, if you did something wrong and your dad is like, look, I give you 3 options, right? I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna let Mike Tyson. I'm gonna put you in the ring with Mike Tyson for 1 minute, or I don't know. I'm gonna put you in a den with a lion for 3 minutes. What's it gonna be? You know what, Dad? You can whoop my ass because you my dad. If I get hurt, you gonna stop. If I say please, you gonna feel some pity. Mike Tyson don't give a damn. He don't know me.
Invincible. When he was beating the shit out of his son.
Yep. And that was that. You see, that's what you call an ass whooping. That's what these black demons need. All right, they need that Omni-Man. I think that's his name, right? They need that Omni-Man Mark ass whooping. That dude's face needed. I mean, damn. That's like light years of reconstruction. The damage that was caused there. He almost damn near killed him. But see, the difference between Mark and you people is that the Most High ain't gonna stop. All right, He's gonna flatten your face and make you'll come out like a 2D pancake. You turn to the side of your flat ass face. That's what the Most High is gonna do to a lot of these people. You see, because in this artificial world, people stop short of brutality because of the laws or whatever. And people are, one thing that these movies do is they make people accustomed to happy endings. Because in a movie, you can expect, most movies are like that. You can expect that the protagonist comes up on top at the end. The main character comes up on top at the end. That's not real life, Because in a movie, something is about to happen. They got the suspense music all high and shit. And then, boom, somebody breaks in. Freeze. Oh, whoa, we got him. Like in The Purge, the second Purge, Diego's night. Right? Diego comes in there with a shotgun. But right before Diego gets to work, you got whoever they were like troop-looking people that broke in through the window, shot his ass, then commotion came, then the women escaped. The second Purge, where Diego with the mother and the daughter, he came up in there, Diego's night. So he never had his night. But in real life, Diego gonna have his night. You see? In real life, don't expect somebody to break through the window just at the right time. That's not real life. All right? Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man gonna come in there. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Okay.
Got it. We'll go back to Matthew 6.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew 6 and 30. Wherefore, if the Most High so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall He not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith?
So the Lord is really cursing them out to an extent. Letting them know, look, you worried about all these things. The Most High cares about you more than He does for these plants. And yet look at how well He's taking care of the plants. So how much more for you? What are you worried about? And that's why as we're gonna read, the Lord says, focus on one thing. The rest the Lord got already. Because the same way these animals, they don't focus on those things, and yet the Lord got their back, how much more for you?
Up in the chapter it says, let thine eye be single. That's it. Laser focus on the prize. There's so many distractions left and right. Reading on, Matthew 6 and 31. Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek.
Right, because they don't have the faith in the Heavenly Father. Because they don't have the Heavenly Father. They got their gods and all of that, but they don't have that faith. Those are things that they worry about. We're spiritual people. Okay? So we know that whenever we need help, we can call on our Heavenly Father in the name of His Son.
For your Heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things.
Right. The Most High ain't, I forgot that I gotta feed. Do you ever forget that you gotta feed your child? If you have a baby, a newborn baby, you forget, oh shit, I forgot I gotta feed this kid. I wonder why they're crying at 4 a.m. in the morning. Damn. I don't know. I can't figure it out. No, obviously it's almost instinctive. First off, before you even worry about what you're gonna eat, you already worried about what your child is gonna eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You hungry or whatever, or if they come, they don't even gotta come and tell you. Because on your mind, you worried. That's why when there was a baby formula shortage, why do you think these people were losing their minds? Because as a parent, they had that instinct already that I got to make sure my child is fed, protected, good. The Lord knows these things, and that's why He's a Heavenly Father. So just like a father, the Lord knows He ain't going to forget that you need to eat, and you need clothes, and you need to sleep, and you need all of these things. He knows that already. He designed the human body. So obviously He knows that if you go such and such without such and such, you ain't going to live. Right? So if He says don't worry about it, then that means He got it down. And besides, what's you worrying about it going to do? Can you do more than the Most High? If there's a famine, can you feed yourself? You worry so much about it.
Hey, the Heavenly Father ain't like the nigga woman.
Right.
You know, like compared to the ostrich.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to put the eggs in the dust and not worried if they're gonna get crushed.
Right. Yeah, there was another black demon that left her child, her baby at home, and went. I forgot where she went for like maybe 3 or 4 days
Went
to
to go party.
Yeah, she went to go party for like 3 to 4 days. Came back and then her child died or something like that. How do you leave your infant child in the house by themselves to go party for 3 to 4 days and I never told you, oh, I got a child at home. Let me even get a babysitter. Let me take it to a friend. Damn. Matter of fact, if you have a baby and you just went and dumped your baby on some distant friend for 3 to 4 days, that would still be irresponsible of you. But this demon said, forget it, I got a child. I'm going to go out and party.
Despicable.
Man, and that's why these women need judgment. That's why this world needs judgment, man. All right, it's corrupt on all sides.
That's not a mother. That's like the brother said, a demon or less than it. I don't even want to call it a demon.
Yeah.
So how are you going to just, God, I've seen that a lot, especially my mother, she has a daycare. And don't think that just because these parents come to their child, like, oh, my child, I'm happy. No, trust me. The hours that them parents come for their children, sometimes my mother's daycare, through the years she's done it, they don't want to come from their kids. They'd rather leave their kids with my mother. Trust me.
Oh.
The times that I'm telling you, late at night, they don't want their kids.
It's crazy, man. And the scriptures say that the children are supposed to be a joy, you know. But that's the thing. You don't have parents in today's society. Like a lot of people are not parents. They're big ass kids themselves. You ever imagine leaving a child with another child? That's what it is. A lot of these individuals are big ass babies. They're babies in grown bodies because their minds haven't matured. Why? Because all they think of is folly. Like a child. They don't get corrected. Why does how does a child mature? A child matures through correction, discipline. That's why the scriptures say, spare the rod, spoil the child. You have to correct the child and raise them up through proper discipline. That's how they mature. Eventually, certain things, they grow out of it. But in this society, that's not the case. So they stay in their mind is underdeveloped. A lot of these individuals walk around with underdeveloped minds. And that's why you can't have conversations with these people. That's why these women ain't mothers. They just have kids, you know? Look, you should be able to tell the difference between a mother and a girl. A woman that's not a mother and a woman that is a mother. But you can be in maybe school, or you can meet a woman on the street and not be able to tell at all. You can talk to her for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. A woman can go 3 months and you never know she had a child or she has a child. You can't tell she's a mother. She'll go out and party. She'll go out with her girlfriends. She'll go and have all these girls lined up. You thinking, damn, this chick is probably, fresh and shit. No. She probably done got 2 kids.
Who
Yeah,
is
who's that?
This your niece? No, that's my kid.
What? You had a kid the whole time, and you can't tell because they don't know how to be mothers. Okay, they're just women with babies, and to them, babies are like toys. Like I got to figure out how this thing works. Let me just go by formula. I think I remember from this TV show they got the formula, and then they don't know what to do when a child cries. They just think just put a pacifier in their mouth and then just put them somewhere. And that's why a lot of these babies are growing up to become even bigger demons. Because they were raised by a demon, so they become a bigger demon, and then they raise up even bigger demons.
So it's a continual thing. That's like movie.
And it gets more corrupt each step of the way.
Back in Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness.
This is why we got to seek the kingdom of the Most High. Because this is not a place this society does not breed life. It breeds death. Okay, look at the communities do you think it's by coincidence that if you take the D train, for example, from, 14th Street and you come up to like Fordham or 187th Street, look around you from 14th Street to when you pass 167, when you get up past 161, or you even get to 161, look at the people next to you on that train. Okay, you ain't gonna see Edomites. Maybe 1 or 2 here and there, if that. And the only time you're going to see a whole bunch of Edomites at 161 is if they went to see a Yankees game or some shit. And then you see, these real drunk-ass Edomites with their freaking shirts open and shit, acting a fool on the train.
No, I was going to say, yeah, you're right, actually, yeah. I see that. The only time they be all up on the train is when it's a Yankees game they be talking about. But other than that, I see mostly Jake.
Yep. And I noticed that. So it's not by coincidence. When you go to Edom Central, it's a different. Things are different. You go to these upper neighborhoods, things are different. Their red lights don't take 20, 30, a minute and 50 seconds before it turns green for 20 seconds.
I was gonna say. So where I live, right? I'm not gonna tell you where I live, but where I live, right? Let's say this is my building right here, right? If I go down the block and turn the corner, not even like it's not even a block, just going down the block and turn the corner. Where I live, you see trash, everything on the street. The floor's messed up, dog piss, all that. The minute I go down the block and turn left, like you said, Edomite Central, it's a completely, it's night and day difference. You
Right.
the streets is, the pavement is good. There's no cracks in the pavement. There's no garbage nowhere. You can walk freely. You don't have to be watching your feet and be like, oh, there's shit on the floor.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is my building right here. Go down the block, make a left. It's a completely different thing. The houses is nice. The people is nice. They look at you, hey. You used to be around your people, they look at you like,
Yeah. What you looking at, nigga?
y'all
Y'all about to show Shalom. That's the mindset that they carry. You know, they, hey, but beautifully said, man. But Jake thinks that's normal. Oh yeah, it's normal for me to live in trash, but then go around and go see different neighborhoods, and that's just, I mean, that's how it is. So you got Jake that thinks it's like a big deal to go to Times Square. Oh my gosh, look, it's Edom Central. Let's go have a good old time here and shit like that. But that should be sad, because you should look at it and say, damn, look at your neighborhood. Look at those around you. Look, you literally walk around with trash around you, literally, you know? And then you go here and it's not the case. And you look at the kind of people that live here, and you look at the people that live next to you. You look at how the bus system works. Why do you have Centurions on every block, and yet crime is still going higher and higher and higher? And yet you don't see that many Centurions in Edom Central, and yet it's not as horrible as it is here. Because at some point, see, yeah, we know Esau sets things up this way, but at some point, you got to look within. All right? Jake are a bunch of animals. That's why you live like animals. Okay? You can take care of your own neighborhoods. You can take care of yourself.
Yeah, just a quick point. Like where I teach at in Long Island is Babylon, right? And that's like a nice area, the downtown. Everybody goes there, turn up, whatever. They have a good time. But every town where it's primarily Jake, so-called blacks and Latinos, like Central Islip, Brentwood, Wyandanch, the property values go down. Nobody wants to like build there. Nobody wants to invest there. You know, it changed a little bit, but overall, it's just, and it's like, really, how could you, you know, it is Esau's fault, at the same time, Jake has to take accountability. You know?
I was gonna mention about the building I work in. Now, if you look on the outside, you may see, oh, this is a nice building. Now, when you go inside, between the time of Halloween and all that, I guess they threw like wine or some type of red shit on people's doors. People have to come and repaint the doors. There's Jake, young Jake, that be in the hallway, right? And they be smoking and stuff. And when they smoke, it's not little spit. I mean, it's that.
Oh, that home
And that
spit.
big, I'm telling you, when I'm walking down the staircase, it's these big wads of spit all over the staircase.
Oh my gosh. They got legions on them. All right? They got legions on them, man. Because now when you see Jake, you man, I understand why Esau be clenching their purses and looking at Jake with them looks, man. Because you understand why. It's like walking next to wild animals. Literally. You know? It's like, bro, just calm the hell down, shut up, and just chill out, man.
But you're right, yeah. Because if you imagine two Jakes passing there, they look at you.
Right. About to have a
What the
nigga
fuck
move.
you looking at me for, man? What the hell's your problem, bro?
That's how animals are.
But if it was a regular person, you ever realize how Esau is like,
That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
But Jake got,
That's it.
like, what's your issue, man?
Even the lady that came earlier, she was like, oh, you keep the commandments.
Oh, yeah,
she was
yeah,
like
yeah.
positive towards us,
Yep.
even though she looked like a double. Could be wrong.
Yep.
But Jake been mean mugging us the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Out here, what's wrong with y'all? Out here holding the Bible and dressing funny.
I believe that the closer we get to the end, man, these curses is kicking up even more. Like, you know, the eyes shall be evil toward their brother, man. That takeoff situation, you know, he lost his life. I don't know if it was like something that was planned or whatever, but the argument seemed so minute for it to turn into something like that. You know, so our people, man, the closer we get to the end, man, them curses is turning up, man.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Yeah, you know it's Jake, man, because like the brother was just saying, they'll look to start saying over nothing. You got a problem with us on the Bible? That's not a problem. But because you want it to be a problem, yeah, look at y'all, what y'all on the Bible for? Huh? What, white man's devil? Not like they just come to try and start some shit, and the head, the not the head, but the driver, the juiced up hoes that do it the most are the Judite women. They look, when you go into a certain room, the loudest voice, if a Judite woman is in there, she gotta have the loudest voice. She has to be the one where if there's an argument, she comes to break it up. You know, she gotta come clear the matter. That's literally like there's a certain complex within them that has to be the big mama of the room who comes and settles every situation. Hold on. Let me come and tell. No. What he's trying to say is, oh my God, damn man, this shit is great, and it's so sad because like sometimes you gotta agree with these other nations about what they say about your own people. And you see why they don't want to deal with you. Oh, there was that video of the other Yashua put it up. You had the Israelite in he was in a Moabite store, and I guess he was looking for like a shirt or some shit. And then the freaking Moabite lady just keeps following him around the whole store, literally. And so he gets tight. He gets to the aisle, and she's standing at the other aisle. And man, listen, Moab don't give a damn. Like Esau would probably follow you, but when he see you turn around, he'll act like he's looking for something around here, some shit, Moab just standing there looking at him. He's literally, she's standing there looking at him.
Hurry up and buy it.
He literally said that. He's like, what? And she's like, what do you want? What are you looking for? He's like, I'm looking for a shirt. I couldn't find it on the other side, and I want the shirt here, man. Fuck is your problem? And she's like, fuck you.
That's not hurry up and buy it.
Yo, he's like, get the fuck out of my face, man. What's wrong with you? He's like, fuck you. Get out of my store. I'm like, yo. But guess what? Why do you think she has that energy towards Elam or Esau? No. She has it towards Jake. You know, because like the saying goes, one bad apple ruins the whole basket or whatever the case. That's what it is. But yeah, let's
Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Yeah, and every Israelite should be seeking the kingdom of the Most High, because the kingdom of the Most High is for you. It's for you to be at peace. It's for you to have children and be able to live. As a matter of fact, what's that in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter? It talks about the government of the Lord, and I believe also Isaiah. Matter of fact, let's get into some of that too. Let's get what's that, Isaiah? I think 61.
Oh, yeah.
It's 60, 61. So let's start at 60 and let's go through 60, 61, and 62. And then maybe 63 if the Spirit permits. But we'll finish on that.
Yeah, Matthew 6:34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself.
Why? Because the Most High has already set up everything that's going to happen in that day, for that time. Go on.
Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
Now, there was a quote, I don't remember who said it, but what he said was, he suffers more who suffers before it is necessary. Meaning that before you got to go through something, if you're already suffering it in your mind, you're going to suffer more. And sometimes you're going to suffer unnecessarily because you're so stressed anticipating what if this happens and then it doesn't happen. Now you done stressed yourself out the past 2 days, you done lost sleep, you can't think right, just to go and find out that that wasn't even the case. You know?
It goes in hand with the quote, you suffer imagination more than reality.
That's it. Yep. You suffer in the mind more than you do in reality. Yeah. In most cases, that's where you have like overthinking and stress and anxiety, right? Because you're worried about things that aren't actually there. You know? You're thinking about these thoughts and you're thinking, oh, what all the possible things that could go wrong, and what about this that happened here and this that and oh, chill out, calm down. Remember reality. Okay? That was it, yeah? Okay, all right. So, yeah, let's go into Isaiah 60, because at the end of the day, the scripture said what? Seek ye the kingdom of the Most High first, right? And as the Apostle Paul said, for here we have no continuing city, right? But we seek one to come. This is not our rest. That's why we're always we're always on edge. You always feel like there's something you got to do. And it's gotten to the point where when you have free time, you feel weird. Like, it's like, it almost feels like unusual. Like, damn, shouldn't there be something that I should be doing? Sometimes you might just feel restless, and then you got to stop and think in your mind: is there something that I haven't done? Is there something that I'm expecting? Like, what's going on? Why am I? And then you got to do a check in your mind that, you know what, you're good. You already took care of everything. Calm down. You know, because we're so used to, all right, do this, pay this bill on this day. Well, what date is it? Okay, all right, so this month's bill comes today. This happens today. I got to have this done. There's always something that you got to do. You know? But yeah, let's jump into that.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Mm-hmm.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Yeah, because ultimately that's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces, he covered the faces of the judges, so on and so forth. That is Esau spreading his vibration upon the earth. Okay, and that now you could, yeah, and he's spreading. He's spreading his vibration upon the earth. And it tells you that Esau is the border of wickedness. So he ain't going to come and teach you the fullness of the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the scriptures tell you in Isaiah, the 8th chapter, that to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So if the world is covered in gross darkness, it means what? They don't have the light. Which who's ultimately the light? Yahweh Shai. Okay? What?
Verse 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light,
Mm-hmm.
and kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Verse 4. Lift up thy eyes round about, and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side.
Yeah, and this is going into prophecy. All right. So there's prophecies in the Old Testament. So when you say that the Old Testament, that's data. So there's things that are written in the Old Testament, visions that were seen, messages that were given that haven't been fulfilled yet, that haven't come to pass yet. And this is one of them. Because then the reason it says thy son shall come from far is because you have Israelites that are scattered all throughout. All right, and you're gonna have elect getting beamed up, but you're also gonna have different members or different Israelites being brought by these other nations to the land of Israel when we go there. Go on.
Just a quick point. If those Israelis is really the people, then how come Gentiles aren't flowing unto them? Why isn't the whole earth coming to them, like it says in Isaiah chapter 2, to learn the ways of the Lord?
Yeah.
Why isn't, like when you're going further into it, you shall suck the breast of kings, which is just a metaphor for basically the riches of the Gentiles. Why is it the Gentiles ain't bringing the riches unto the so-called Israeli people?
Right. Why does Iran want to remove you off the face of the planet Earth? They said it. Real quick, actually, let's also get that. You mentioned that in Isaiah the 2nd chapter, and let's start. We can start the top on that, and then we'll come back to Isaiah 60. All right, but yeah, that's a good question. See, the scriptures have prophecies in them, and with those prophecies, you can measure the times, right? And a part of those prophecies tell us what is going. Number one, how are the true children gonna go into that land? And what is going to happen? What are the events that are going to be taking place, the world events, when they come into the land, and what's going to happen after they come into the land? Hold on. When is Revelation 21 going to be fulfilled? This should mean that none of them should be dying. None of them should have to cry. None of them should have sorrow. They should have spiritual power, and none of them should be dying.
12 gates.
The 12 gates.
City with floors with gold.
Where's that at? Where they do that at? Where's the Yahweh Shai? Where's King David that's going to get raised up?
And that's why they conveniently just say, well, we don't believe in the New Testament.
Right.
But they could just put all that to the side and then come with their own bullshit fake Messiah.
But you know what? Then we got to hit him with Jeremiah. So where's the new covenant? When did the new covenant get fulfilled, and why are they not perfect? Because you know what? We can go into all the laws in the book, and every single J should keep every law in the book perfectly without even making reference to the book. And yet you got some of them where you ask one question. How many sons did Abraham have? How many sons did Jacob have? I think he had Shem and Joseph and Lamech. What are you talking about, man? You know? So when is that? What's that about? They're supposed to be perfect, but they're not.
Another point, Jeremiah 30 when you go through that breakdown, it also talks about how the Lord's going to increase them, and they shall basically grow and multiply in a large number. When you go into the Israelis, they're actually diminishing. Their wives are not having kids as much.
Yep. Oh, now if there was a video that the elder brother Menachem put up about the rabbi, the female rabbi, she was going in, right? And she said that, yeah, female rabbi, crazy, right? She said, oh, they have they're like the smallest population on the planet or something of that sort. I think she said they're like 30 or 15 million or something like that.
15 million.
Wait a minute. Scripture said you are as the sand of the sea. You're supposed to be as the sand of the sea. Right? And like you said, you're supposed to multiply. One is supposed to be as a nation. What was going on there?
For herself.
Yeah.
Because they always want to be the ones that suppress. How are you oppressed when you have trillions of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
How are you oppressed when you took the land of Israel, which is not it is prophecy that the wicked would be there, but it's not prophecy that that you would be the people.
Right. Right. It says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. So who's that bastard? Right? Because the scriptures tell you in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, that if you're not chastised, then you as bastards. Okay? Now we know we getting chastised, so clearly we have a father. You got it?
Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amoz saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Judah and Jerusalem. And that's another question. Where are the rest of the tribes? Why don't any of them come out and address that? I'm curious. I want to know, what is the explanation for the rest? To be a J-E-W means you are from one tribe. Jacob did not have only one son. Okay? There are 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
They only choose Judah or Levi.
Judah, yeah, exactly. Judah or Levi. Where's Manasseh? Where's Reuben? Where's Asher? Where's Issachar? I'm yet to see one of them come out and tell me I'm from the tribe of Issachar. Or I'm from the tribe of Zebulon. They don't even know who they are. Simeon. You got to ask them all. They lost. So where's Benjamin? Oh, well, he's part of the law. That Benjamin is lost too. Because they don't know. See, so a lot of things don't add up. These are the questions that you got to raise. And we're going to keep raising these questions. It doesn't matter how mad you get. You better get mad enough to where you bring the troops. Because we ain't stopping.
Because like you said, it's called the nation of Israel, not the nation of Jews.
Right.
Because Jacob's name got changed to Israel. And Jacob had 12 sons, which are the 12 patriarchs. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and so forth going down that you see on the sign there. It's not called the nation of Jews, it's called the nation of Israel.
Right. So where the rest of the tribes at? That's something that y'all are yet to answer. Where are the rest of the 12 tribes?
Verse 2, Isaiah chapter 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Which the mountain of the Lord's house, it represents the government. All right, now when you go into the scriptures, there are different times when you see the word mountain or you'll see the word hill, okay, which is sometimes is metaphorical and sometimes is literal. And when it's metaphorical, it's representing a government, all right, or when it's literal, it's representing an actual mountain. But in this case, it's referring to the government of the Lord, which is going to start, obviously you have the Most High Yahweh and you have his son Yahushua, and then you're going to have King David, and then the rest of the 144,000 men, which are going to be the governing body in the kingdom of heaven, followed by the rest of the elect, and then the rest of the nation.
Continue. Read it again. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Meaning that the Lord's government is going to be the top government. That's why when the Lord comes back, it says that what? He had many crowns upon his head. And one of his titles is what? King of Kings and Lord of Lords. See, what the world is going to find out is it doesn't matter what you think. It never really matters what you think. It matters what is written. It matters what prophecy is. Whether you believe in Yahushua or not, whether you believe he's the Messiah or not, whether you believe we are the true people or not, whether you call us anti-Sem, whether you demonize us, whether you throw us in prison, whatever you do will not stop these prophecies from happening. It will not stop the return of the Lord from coming. It will not stop 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, 2nd Ezra 13 from being fulfilled. It will not stop any of that. Those are still going to happen. All right, and that's pertaining to Romans 3 and 3. Go on.
And shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
Yeah, because we're going to be the team. like in this world, you got, it says that the nations are mad, they're drunk with the wine of her philosophies, which is the Americanization. In the kingdom, we're gonna be the top, you know, and we're gonna completely surpass this place. This place ain't nothing. All right? This place has been competing for that top position ever since. And it's been through war and violence and bloodshed. People don't even fear you enough to where they don't want to go to war with you. Russia's getting ready. Even North Korea. North Korea the past week been shooting ballistic missiles left and right. One after the other, after the other, after the other. And they're like, look, somebody try us. That's what Rocket Man is over there doing. He's saying, somebody try us. Come intervene. Let's see what we do to you. We've been itching to test this joint out. Go on.
I was just gonna make a quick one. That the point that the brother made about the other nations and the wars that's going on is very indicative that they're not the people. Because you think in our seat of power, when Yahushua comes back and sets up New Jerusalem, Lord's will, we can partake in that. That any of the heathen nations, you think the Persians are going to be a problem for us? That they're going to dare step to us in immortal bodies? Like, that's not going to be an issue at all. So that's indicative that you ain't the people. Because they're banging on their chest against you.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point, because think about it, right? Number one, we are, as the sons, we're innumerable. Number two, even us in our carnal forms, back in the ancient world, in our armies, nobody could come against us when we had our power with us. And number three, in this time, we're going to be gods. We're not going to be, imagine going to war with the nation of Israel in the kingdom.
Isn't there a prophecy that says that the house of David shall be as God?
Shall be as God. So we're not going to be able to die. We're going to control the elements. We're going to have spiritual power. What can you possibly do? And see, what's going to really set that tone is when the Lord comes back. Because guess what? When the Lord comes back, the war doesn't end just right then and there. America gets destroyed, but the elect get beamed up and come back down. All right? Because the nations are going to make war. They're going to stop fighting against each other, and they're going to fight against the Lord. And guess what? The Lord and the elect are going to put them down and go around the whole world, subjecting everybody to the will of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. That is when they're going to realize, just bow down, everybody, just be subject. All right, because ain't no way we be coming up against this. This is some heat. You see that, the size of that chariot? Like in Game of Thrones, they got dragons. We're gonna have chariots, you know. And the thing is, see, in Game of Thrones, the dragons are their real power. We gonna be the power. We're not gonna have power. We gonna be powers. Can you imagine that? You don't have a gun. You are the gun. That is, I mean, it doesn't get better than that, because if you have a gun, that's your power. Somebody disarms you, you're done. But if you are the power, I mean, that's a whole different story.
Yahushua is the real WMD.
That's it.
He's the real weapon of mass destruction. And it said Wisdom of Solomon 5 that he will make the preacher the weapon.
Yep.
Roughly paraphrasing it. So yeah, the Lord is going to turn his elect into powers in and of themselves, into gods. So it is. That's why the scriptures prophesy that there will be no more war, because you can't go to war against that.
Yeah.
That's not a war. That's an obliteration. That's a massacre.
That's right. Because it won't even take a fraction of the nation of Israel to do that. That's the thing about it. Is see, like, imagine the Incredible Hulk. That's one man, and the danger that he can cause. He's such a dangerous threat. And that's one man. Thanos is one. You know, one snap of the finger, he wiped off half the population, just like that. You know what I mean? And you go come again. Imagine there were like 20 Thanos, or like 1,000, an army of 1,000 Thanos, with all of them having 2 Infinity Gauntlets. Why even bother trying to even go to war? That's not even. That's not. What is that? And that's what. And we're above Thanos. Thanos ain't nothing. He's like freaking. He's a figure of somebody's imagination. So Edomite with limited imagination. So, because when you read like these comics, right, you hear some of these super overpowered characters, and you're like, what the fuck is that? You know, you got, what's his name, Galactus, the World Eater or some shit? My man eats worlds. You know? Like, what's his name? Is it Beerus from Dragon Ball? Who can destroy a planet by sneezing or something like that?
Yeah, he's God destruction.
This man can destroy a planet by sneezing? Not even to get to, what's Xeno, which is supposed to be the god of gods in Dragon Ball Super or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's 2 little kids.
Yeah, he represents the Most High. It's like basically whatever he says goes, and like he could just snap you out of existence.
That's it. Yeah, he can go like, everything can just disappear like that. That is some overpowered stuff out of a limited mind. So imagine the kind of things that we're going to have the power to do. Because see, our power, now you imagine these characters, they come from the imaginations of these mortal men. What we're going to be like is going to come from the imagination of the Most High, the immortal. And he's infinite. That means his thoughts are infinite. So that means he's going to make our ability infinite. There's going to be things that you're going to be able to figure out and learn and do constantly. You got to ask yourself, why did the Lord say that man was made to be immortal? He didn't say that I'm just going to make you immortal just for fun. No, he said you were made to be immortal. You have to be immortal. Why do we have to be immortal? Why does our kingdom have to be everlasting? Not just that, okay, you know, you're going to have sons. And no, you cannot die. You're not going to be able to die, because even immortality is not going to be enough time to figure out the things that the Lord is going to have for us.
I believe it's in Isaiah 41. It says there is no searching of his understanding.
Oh my gosh.
Going back to the comments real quick, you had the Marquis of Death. And the Marquis of Death was basically, he had reality warping powers. And that's the power over the elements, essentially. Fantastic Four had to like take 1,000 of themselves from different realities just to even come against them. Shit. Which in reality they ain't gonna touch none of us, you know?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. And that time is coming. Oh, like the story of the black Jesus. And that put fear in them. They grinded up this individual into beyond tiny pieces and put his grinded up body parts into jars, some super indestructible type containers, and sent it to all the different parts, like the Dragon Balls, how they split and disappeared into different parts of the world. And my man showed up in the office the next day, reassembled, home. Like he ain't even mad enough. He just telling him, look, my man, just stop it. That is the worst kind of fear. When you've done everything you can even possibly imagine, and you for certain know ain't no way he's coming back from that, and they just brush it off with ease. That's when you know that you out of your league. You got it. Oh, when we second?
Isaiah chapter 2, verse 3. It says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord.
Then that meaning, let us go to the government of the Lord. So that's what these nations are going to say. All right? And they're not saying that now. People, look, man, if the Iranians, the Elamites say that, hey, come, let's go to the mountain of Amalek, it's to destroy them. Okay? When Russia comes down to the mountain of Amalek, it's going to be to destroy them. Oh, as a matter of fact, in the book of Ezekiel, there's a prophecy in Ezekiel 38 that the North country, which is Russia, is going to come down as a storm upon Israel and destroy that whole land. There's a prophecy of that. So now the question is, when is that prophecy going to be fulfilled? Because they should really be in the kingdom of heaven already. So when is Ezekiel 38th chapter going to happen? When is that? Because it says the land is going to be completely done away with. And this land as well, in America. So when is that going to happen? There's a change of worlds coming. Go on. But it says they're going to come to the mountain of the Lord. Ain't nobody trying to go over there. They're going to come to the true government of the Lord. To do what?
Continuing in verse 3, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
Whoa, wait, hold up. The God of who? The God of Jacob. So now we got to go find out, well, who is Jacob? And what does it mean by the God of Jacob? Because Jacob's name got changed to Israel. So Israel and Jacob can be used interchangeably to refer to the 12 tribes, or the Israelites, or the Jacobites. Go on.
And he will teach us of his ways.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to want to learn of the ways of Jacob, of the sons of Jacob, or of the 12 tribes. Go on.
And we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
I guess their fulfillment of that is the fact that if they say that you anti-Sem, then you anti-Sem. If they say throw your ass in jail, that's really what they want. They're trying to use us to gain that authority to be able to say, oh, we feel hurt and threatened by this, so throw their ass in jail. Revelation 2:10. You got to ask yourself, right? How are they going to persecute? Like, why would they behead you for the testimony of Yahushua? Because that's like saying that you're gonna discriminate against one belief system and go so far as to behead somebody or put somebody in prison because of what they believe. How are they possibly gonna spin that? To say that because you believe in the Bible, we're gonna put you in jail. That means that they gotta twist and turn. And that's what you see them doing. So all of a sudden, definitely not by coincidence at all, right? All of a sudden, this whole controversy comes up, but then the FBI got credible information that there's bomb threats to synagogues in New Jersey. It doesn't happen at any point in time up until when this happens. When this comes out, oh, they said he had extreme radical ideas and that he had extreme hatred for Amalek. Wow, that's interesting.
And why them specifically?
Yeah. What?
It says, verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
And when you beat your swords into plowshares, it means you're turning your weapons into agricultural tools. And you only do that in a time of peace. You don't do that in a time of war. In a time of war, you invest in weapons. Okay? But in the time of peace, you don't need those weapons. You invest in growth. Go ahead.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
Right, they're not going to learn war anymore because there's going to be no more war. We're going to be the super... See, there's war when one nation thinks it has the opportunity to take over another. And they do it when they see that the power of another is waning, right? That's the critical moment. That they come in, oh, let me come up in there, let me try to become the next world superpower. Okay? But in our kingdom, you ain't gonna ever have that thought of let's try to usurp or overtake the kingdom.
Well, that's what happened with the Assyrian Empire. They were getting weak because they were having civil war. And then that's when Nabopolassar came up and wanted to take them down. That's when he worked together with
Cyaxares.
Cyaxares the leaders.
Yep, exactly. Beautiful example. Yep. Yes. Yep.
I'll start this one. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Verse 5. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee.
Would you look at that? Because what? The Lord is finally, we're going to be in the good graces of the Lord again. Like Achior said in the book of Judith, he told the king's general at the time, he told him, look, the hill country, the people of the hill country, which are the Israelites, if their power is with them, there's nothing you can do. Your safest bet is to fall back. But if they sin against their power and their power is against them, that's when you can go and take them over and do all of these things. That's how it works. Okay, and it never fails. So when our iniquity is at an accomplishment, meaning that our captivity is being turned and the Lord starts to now deliver us, that's what he's going to do. Go on. Oh, they said, I just saw a video here, Friends of the Prophets. It says Ron Dalton last video. Oh, there's another one actually. I think he said that the Hebrews to Negroes documentary, or that movie that they got on Amazon, now is going up. The price is up to $50 now to get it, because more and more people are now going to see what is this about. Not only Israelites, but also Edomites and these other nations. They want to see what's the controversy all about. See, look, that's like if there was a Edomite documentary, right? If there was anything like, I don't know, Esau to something like that, right? And it was a controversial. If the roles were flipped, we would be curious, right? What's all this about? What kind of documentary is it that this guy posted that is so racist? Imagine it was like a racist documentary. We'd be like, we go and check it out and see what's going on there. Why is it so? So they would do the same thing. In their minds, they're like, what's so bad about what he posted? Let me go find out. Let me click on that. Let me watch it. Let me see. Whether it's from a mindset of to get more ammo that you can come and demonize us with, or from a mindset of, oh, I want to see what this is about. The point is, the truth is going out. Okay? You got it?
Continuing in verse 5, it says, the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. Verse 6, the multitude,
Well, and the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto us, meaning the riches. All right, we're going to get the riches and the power and the glory and the status. We're going to get all of that. Okay, they're going to work for us. Go on. We're not going to be like the Rothschilds who have to supplant you and hey, peace. You know, they got to supplant you and they got to steal and they got to go and they got. We don't need to do that. We'll tell you straight up. Yeah, we run this shit. All right, we're in control now. There's a new boss in town. All right, because why would we need to be hiding? You can see. You're gonna see who the new lords of the earth are. Go on.
verse 6, the multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah all day from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord.
Right, emphasizing on the riches and the presents and the gifts that we're going to be getting from these other nations. We're going to get the best of everything. And the Lord is going to do a complete role reversal from rags to riches, from cargo slave ships to chariots. Because that's how we got here, but we're going to leave here in lavish chambers, which are those chariots. We came here naked, we came here on slave ships, we came here shackled up, but we're going to leave here with new bodies. Imagine that. That's what the scriptures say, in the twinkling of an eye. So guess what? Here it is. World War III is coming, missiles are flying, and we're excited for new bodies. You know? We're waiting for this shit to go off. Yes. Shoot the missiles. You know? Because it's going to be like that. And then, we're going to be hoping like hell that we make it up on them chariots. It's going to be a nice, the stakes are going to be real high. But by that point, you're going to have some level of confidence, because having gone through all the things that we're going to go through before that point, you're going to see that the Lord is dealing with you or he's not. You're going to have to go through the hour of temptation. You're going to have to go through the persecution and demonization, all hell breaking loose. And if the Lord is with you, you're going to make it through it. And you're going to have that confidence that, yes, the Lord is back, you know, and I know he's dealing with me. 2 Ezra 16. Then shall they know who am I, then shall they be known who am I chosen.
Hey, we came in on slave ships and we're leaving on spaceships.
That's
Hey,
it.
that's right.
That's it. That's a lesson right there.
That's right.
I didn't come up with that. I heard the brother say it.
Yeah, the boys gonna say that?
No.
Verse 7.
Because if y'all got, whenever y'all got anything, points, precepts, whatever, just bring them up.
Verse 7, all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nabaoth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind that as Isaiah, when you read the book of Isaiah, see Isaiah, Isaiah was poetic, he was learned, okay? So meaning when you read some of the writings in the book of Isaiah, you'll notice that there's some examples and comparisons and the way that he phrases and words certain things, that it's not just dry and cut, you know? So you might need to look into it
Like
to
Paul?
read, huh? Like Paul. But see, Paul was more on the New Testament side of things, right? Because as time goes forward, so does what's the word I'm looking for? Verbiage. Verbiage changes. The kinds of examples, the kinds of comparisons you make, they switch. So every era and every age has its own version of proper speaking, for example, right? So just like in the New Testament, you had a proper way of speaking, how learned people would speak. In the Old Testament, just like that. So you may see, if you actually pay attention, you'll see the difference between how Isaiah says things versus how Amos, for example, would say things. Because when you look at the kind of lifestyle these two lived, it was slightly different, right? Sometimes you'll hear certain verses that are verbatim from in the book of Jeremiah and in the book of Isaiah. That's because Jeremiah came after Isaiah. So obviously he knew about the prophet Isaiah, okay? Just like today. We go and sometimes what we'll do is we may quote what a prophet said in the past, right? But we may not quote it exactly as the prophet said it. Well, you see examples of that in the New Testament, where you'll see, like, for example, Jeremiah talks about the new covenant, right? But in the book of Hebrews, it also talks about the new covenant. But it might not be worded exactly the same, but very similar, because you have a prophet that is quoting what another prophet said, just like we do that today. You know, so when you read in the book of Isaiah, you got to keep in mind not everything is literal. Some things are just, you might say it in a certain way, in a poetic way, to give emphasis to a certain point. Sometimes he may repeat something 3 different ways to give emphasis to a certain point, but it's all talking about the same thing. It's like if I was to say, when we get to the kingdom, we're gonna be blessed, we're gonna be living a lavish life. And then I was to follow up with that and say, we're gonna be so fly that, I don't know, our sneakers are gonna have wings. We're gonna be so fly that our toilet bowls are gonna be made of gold. You know? We're gonna put the Y in the word fly. And I said those 3 things in subsequent order after saying we're gonna live a lavish life. If you come back to read that in the future, you gotta understand, I'm saying the same thing. I'm just making an emphasis on the fact that we're gonna be living lavishly. So you shouldn't get caught up in what does he mean by put the Y in the fly? How do you put Y in fly? And you stressing your mind out over that. Sneakers having wings, but sneakers are inanimate objects. How can sneakers? That's how Esau thinks. So sometimes you come across these verses and he'll get messed up because he's trying to use carnal reasoning to understand, how do sneakers have wings to fly? That's not possible. Is he possibly referring to, like, I don't know, something? And they get messed up over that. But you got to keep that in mind when you read some of these different verses in there.
I was going to say, referencing what you just said, in the book of Job, it mentions if a man dies, shall he live again?
Right.
So when you look at the way that they break it down in like the commentary, they try to change the translation to fit their how they can understand. They don't believe in reincarnation, so they say, "Oh, wait, he must be saying something else." But no, he said what he said. He said, "If a man die, he'll come back again."
Yep. Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, because that's the thing. Esau looks at everything from you got to have a carnal explanation for everything. And that's what they do. So, like you said, if they can't find one, they'll try to reach. They'll say, no, it says this, but it can't possibly mean that. Because in order for it to mean that, it has to be spiritual. We don't do spirituality over here. We need tangible proof. Let's keep going.
Good show, example for what you just said is that show Evil. It deals with the guy, I think his name is David. He's a spiritual guy that becomes a pastor. I'm not going to spoil the show. But, and then there's an Edomite woman that he recruits, whatever, for help. And everything with her is just, we have to look at a, like you said, tangible, carnal thing of there has to be a medical reason, a medical explanation for why this woman is acting out, why she thinks she has a demon on her. But him, it's like, no, there's a demon on her, the devil, so we got to, perform the exorcism. But no, she's like, no, that the woman is probably messed up in the head. So it's like a fight back and forth between them.
Yeah. See, in today's day and age, Esau, that's how he works. He has to categorize everything. He has to put a label on everything because it gives him more control. If Esau for example, you got demons on you, but he tells you, no, you're schizophrenic. Now, in your mind, you're gonna say, oh, what is that? And now he can tell you whatever. It's schizophrenic. What are the symptoms? Is you do this, you do this, you do this, you do that. And he's put a label on you. And the danger of these things is, for example, depression. You may not be depressed. I may just be pissed off. No. These are signs of depression. Come, let's give you some pills. Let me tell you a bit more about this. And the way the human brain works at times is, sometimes you become what you are told that you are, even if that's not what you actually are. You become more like what they tell you are. The more they keep telling you, the more you keep believing it. Somebody tells you, I'm sick, or you're sick. The more you keep believing you're sick, the more sick you actually gonna become. And the more you keep telling you you're crazy, the more crazy you're gonna think, am I actually crazy? Maybe I am crazy. Then you start giving in to these demonic thoughts. So Esau puts a label on everything, but that's not really what it's about. So like you said, if the person got demons on them, because a lot of these ailments, especially when they affect how people behave, is really demons that are on people. It's spiritual. It's demons that are on people. Addiction is a demon. Okay, there's a spirit that's on you, and when you listen to these people's testimony, they'll tell you that literally they can't control themselves. Like, I need that fix. It's like something possesses them that they need to have it. That's a demon on you. But Esau will tell you, no, that's not no demon. That is addiction. Let's take you to, let's try to counsel you. Why do people have relapse? This dude's been clean for 3 years, and yet in a matter of 2 seconds, he gets like this crazed addiction urge and he just wilds out.
Oh no.
Oh, you were gonna say
Yeah,
something.
I was gonna say that a couple months ago there was this video that Elder Apostle Hart was going into. There was this child, and she was possessed by a demon, and then he was playing the video, and the mother was talking about all the times that the child would just act crazy and go wild out, like jumping off stuff, running into stuff, just a whole bunch of craziness, but it's demons. And then there was one time when the child said that, mommy, I don't want to do this anymore. Please make it stop. And then after that, she was just gone.
Oh,
Demon
damn.
like took over.
Damn, you look at that. And you notice, right, that in the ancient world, you ain't really hearing things like you know, whatever, I got this, you know what I mean, like oh Lord, my son has schizophrenia. Can you take him to the hospital? Most of the cases they'll tell you that he has a demon on him, you know, or he's sick, or he's a lunatic, and they understood that meant that he had demons on him. Sometimes he'll jump into the fire, sometimes he'll jump here, they understood what that was, and they knew that required what? An exorcism. They required you to get the, you know, the Spirit of the Lord to rebuke those demons off you. It's all spiritual.
Like what account was it? And when Yahweh Shah rebuked that demon off the child, and he said sometimes you have to defeat these demons, you have to do it by prayer and fasting.
You can't rebuke it, you know, by just rebuking it. Yeah, it comes by prayer and fasting. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, exactly. Emphasis on that. That's right.
I was just gonna say, to answer your point with the whole relapse thing, I remember this scripture, I forgot how it goes, but basically dealing with the man that when, you know, he hears the word, he's cleansed and all that, but then he turns, you know, after a while the demons come back unto him.
Oh yeah.
That's basically like you were explaining, that relapse. Basically, once those demons come off him, it's like, okay, yeah, I feel like I can function now. I feel like I don't need the drink or the weed or anything. But then that after a while, them demons come back and it's just so powerful. It's like, nah, I need it again.
Precept, Ecclesiastes 25:13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. So, you know, the plague of the heart, you know, that's your mind. And when your mind is plagued with them demons, man, it ain't no medicine that can really cure that. It's the Lord putting that on you, you know, and those demons, man, you can get prescribed medicine that make you worse.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pharmakia is a form of witchcraft and sorcery, because those medicines put you in an even more demonic stage, and having wickedness of the woman. You could have a woman that's driving you crazy, man. And that's why we call some of our Eve demons. Like, yeah, my demon this or my demon that, because that's exactly what they are, and that's what they be. They ride you like a damn witch in your sleep.
Yeah, God, beautiful point. Yeah, and because sometimes them drugs that they give you, it gives you less control of your mind. It makes you weaker, and that pretty much handicaps you. And gives them demons and edge over you. You know, and it goes into also just health-wise. Some infirmities are actually by demons. You know, Job. Look at Job. In today's society, they would have diagnosed Job with some symptom and said that, look, he got monkeypox or something like that. You know, and that's what came, because they'll even try to do it. When you read some of the commentaries on some of the diseases in the past, they'll say, oh, it was probably a form of what we know today as whatever, you know. But in the ancient world, we understand the spiritual aspect behind it. How did Job all of a sudden develop all these boils on his body? Was it not Satan that was plaguing him? So when you all of a sudden start getting sick, you start catching that's them demons trying to mess with you, especially certain particular ailments. And it just doesn't make sense. You're like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? That's them demons, man.
And that's why when you go to the medicine, that's that demon work on your mind. So go to the medicine, so when you go to it, it weakens you, like you said, your mind. And it makes it easier for the demon to have control over.
Exactly.
Another example was, not of what I just said, but it's with Saul. They know that the Lord, it said, evil spirit came from the Most High, came upon Saul. And they had to calm it down by David playing music.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, because that music has a very heavy vibration, you know, and there's been a lot experiments done on that. There've been experiments done on sand and water, and when you play different types of music, you can see how it affects what kind of shapes the water makes and what kind of shapes it makes when you play that like heavy metal, rock, satanic type shit. Them loud, wild ass music. Music influences you. Like the Elder Zion was giving an example of when you're driving, for example. When you driving and you got very, very loud, aggressive music playing, you will start to drive more aggressively. You start getting into it. I had at a previous job I used to work at, one of my managers told me, he said, look, he said, yo, bro, he randomly came up and told me, he was like, yo, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. This music made me want to kill somebody, bro. Like that shit just make me like just want to punch somebody in the face, bro. Literally just like that. And I said, yeah, I know. Because that's the kind of I'm serious, and I'm like, you just confirmed like pretty much everything that we've been saying. It's a vibration, you know? That's why they got certain songs that they'll say, like you'll hear certain people play certain kind of music when they're heartbroken or when they're sad. They got heartbreak music, they got turn up music, they got just chill music, they got romantic music. Why do you think how do you think they categorize these music? Based on how it makes you feel. There's certain songs that you hear, they call I'm in my bag, right? Certain songs that you hear and you just, you know, you feel all whatever. You know, and certain other songs you hear, it comes up, people start jumping, turn up, hurry up. You know what I mean? So, oh, that's my shit. They jump onto the middle of the dance floor, start doing some wild ass, crazy ass shit. Woo! You know what I mean? Like some wild.
Like, I seen a Benjamin night, they was playing some wild music and he was wilding out dancing. So then he started to dance in the street and then he got hit by a car.
Look at that.
He said, oh, Lord.
They got a term called slam dancing. It was developed from heavy metal music, but the rap group Onyx, they took it and ran with it, and now you have that coin slam dancing in the hip hop community. Also that crunk when you like you look like you fighting in the air when you dancing. Like you saw people getting crunk.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like yo, you gotta stand back or you gonna get punched in the face by this guy or kicked in the face. Yo, you know it's ridiculous. I saw a video when this dude did a roundhouse kick onto his homeboy on stage. You saw that? Yo, he cocked back and just wow, like if it was intentional. His man fell off the stage with his roundhouse kick. So you know that vibration of that music is like purposely put out there for people, man, because you get into a trance and those demons is able to enter you on a quicker level.
I was gonna say, since he mentioned Benjamin, you know, Benjamin got that adultery music, you know, that wine and all that type of stuff. You get the drink. The scripture say what? Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. So you get the wine, you get the women, the drinks, everything. You hear that music, wine, baby, wine. And you just you grab it, all that shit. You might be committing adultery. The woman, you wind up with another man's woman. That's what you're doing the Parkway shit. You see if a chick, she has a man, but then you wind up on her. Let's be honest. Your chick, you're standing up. She her fat ass on you. It's like, what type of shit? And then she comes to you at home like, oh baby, you know I only love you. But you feel another man's thing all behind you.
Right. Hey, that's culture. Yep, there's that song, music make you lose control.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think those it wasn't a lie? It does. When you go, look, pay attention to the kind of songs they play at these clubs. Pay attention to the setting at these clubs. The music is loud. There's a lot of drinks and the lights are flashing.
Or sometimes be off.
Yeah, or be off. You know? So you barely see who you're dealing with. All you know is there's just a spirit on you to just like get into it. You know, it doesn't matter. Oh, you see her, you don't, oh, she got a man or not. The spirit of Bacchus, that's it. You know? They grab them up. That's what they used to do in Rome. But music has a vibration. Why do you think here, especially here, there's an emphasis on music? These artists, and that's why, what's this guy's name? I believe it was Kanye said they call you the artist. And basically you become whatever they want you to become. They say, look, we need you to promote this kind of music, you know? And then they actually, John Todd said that. He said that with some of these records, they actually put demons, like they cast spells and put demons into the actual record. And when you play it, the demons come into your mind.
Yeah, I think if you play it backwards or
You
something.
hear the reverse messages and everything. And when you got them big ass beats, and it literally has trapped the song in your head, and you walking around. That's why you see niggas, I'm so that you see them walking around or they have the beats filled with loud ass music, doing some wild ass shit. Let actual demons go through the music into these people and affect them. Because what do the songs teach? You know, I took his girl, I smoked some weed, I shot this nigga in the head, I killed him and then ran a train on his aunt. And then people think that's cool, you know?
Like Jay said, that's the anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
When you saying I'ma fuck this bitch, I'ma fuck your bitch, I'ma kill this nigga. Those are sinful acts.
Oh,
You know,
with that.
those sinful acts is the things that make you against the Most High and His laws. You know.
Oh yeah.
So when you got that vibration of music in your head, and that's what you do as a new artist, this is what kind of music you saying. You are actually going against your people and the Most High. You know, and that's the reason why the brother said that. You know, Ye was like, you know, what is really this is, you know, when y'all put out as artists, y'all make artists believe that this is talent and this is what sells records. So you promote that artists get the impression that this is the only way. Like you got conscious rappers that's not in the game yet, but they like, yo, I ain't gonna make it because I'm not saying stuff like that that's attractive or appealing to the industry, you know. And the other, I think he Jay, Leah Cohen, he was like, yeah, that's talent. So I'm gonna sign somebody that's saying stuff like that, and they was like, uh-oh, ain't you being hypocritical? Since you saying that you for stuff that ain't involved in that, because he said, yo, I don't sign people that's drug addicts or smoke or drink, but yet and still you'll take somebody who don't do that, but because they saying it on their records, you consider that talent?
Right.
That is hypocritical.
Right. No, but you know what? In his eyes, it is talent, right? Because it's what do artists do? They make art, and you people are the art. So just like an artist, like somebody that draws or paints, they start drawing here, they start drawing here. That's what the music does. These guys, their paintbrush are the songs, and then the world is the canvas, and you people are the art. So you take one individual who may start off as a blank piece of paper, and then they listen to your music, and then you can start to see how the artist is shaping the life of this individual. They listen to these new rappers, Lil something, Young Drugs, whatever, you know, Lil Xanax, whatever.
Uzi
Vert, yeah. and then they start to become little demons. You know, listen to this music, and then guess what? Now you have a depiction, you have an artwork of this artist, and then you have a lot of people that fall under this category, and so they get so addicted. Even if the album is trash, because it's by Drake, I'm gonna listen to it. You know?
It's to the point where it's so bad now with Jake. Jake is straight up saying that they're demons. They're on demon,
Oh, yeah.
demon time.
Demon, demon time, yeah.
He's a demon. He's a demon.
Yep.
Drake made a post about LeBron James' son, and he said he's my little demon. So it's like, bro, he saw it, and it worked like gradually, like, because when you listen to the 90s music, it has a little bit more of a wholesome vibe. Some of this shit is like more tolerable, but then this shit in 2022 is just, I'm a fucking demon, I'm gonna fuck your bitch. It's like, this shit is
That's
just
a form
wicked.
of mind control too, because if you're going according to how your handlers is taking you down a lane, you ain't even being yourself. Because like if you're doing this and you're not really like that behind closed doors, or when you off camera, you an innocent good guy, you are portraying people, you making people get the, they getting the idea that, okay, yeah, he like that in real time.
Right,
But you not, and it's just like, I gotta be like that in real time too. Cause my favorite rapper showed me that this ain't no gimmick, this is just how he lived, when you don't even live like that. You know? Brothers be going home to their wives and having a whole family, sitting down like family, man. But when you get in that booth and you in the video, you living like a savage.
Right.
And you ain't even like that.
Yep.
But you got other kids growing up thinking that that's my idol. This is my role model. I'm gonna live like that in real life to prove to him that I'm like A.R. Ave had a little homie that he was bigging him up by professing all the crimes he committed, which was an act of snitching, because the feds wound up getting his homie because of the words that A.R. Ave was saying on interviews and in his music. They like, oh yeah, well, we remember that crime, and oh, now you telling us he did that? All right, we got him. Now a dude's sitting in there doing 50 years, and he's looking stupid only because he tried to live that real life and
Right.
and it out of the words, because he was like, yeah, man, I like him because everything he rhyme about, he really did. That's stupid as hell. And now they both sitting in jail doing football numbers. Like, at least you was real though in real life. Like, that's stupid, man. I wouldn't recommend it, man. I wouldn't recommend it.
God. Nah,
Yeah, I was gonna say the other Monarch Tazaba, he did a video on, there was a 6-year-old rapper going.
Oh
Yeah, he was saying I'm gonna fucking kill my mom, my dad, my grandpa.
Yeah. I think I saw that. He walked in the kitchen and just was like, I want to kill my mother. No, I think
No,
I
he was rapping about it.
He was rhyming about that?
Yeah. Made it into a 6-year-old. And then there was I don't know if it was his dad or brother, and the video was just like jamming to it, like hyping him up.
I was gonna make a point just to add off what the brother Lamar said. The modern way they do that now is with what's his name, Vlad TV.
Yeah.
He be
He
making
having
them
them snitch.
yeah, snitch on themselves.
Yeah.
And then they be, I think one of the, I forgot who it was, I was watching the video, he was like, I ain't gonna tell you nothing, Vlad, because anytime people speak to you, something
go to
comes up
jail.
later where they go to jail.
He's smart.
And he was like, no, I don't say nothing or do nothing, but it's like they're literally on YouTube snitching on themselves with things they do, and then they get locked up.
Come
And
on,
that's
lady.
literally what Vlad is there to do.
Yep.
Oh, snap.
Let you expose yourself. Give it
I think he Amazon.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because there was something that came out. He heard about the Israelites. I forgot what it was. He heard about it, and he said he basically doesn't like it. He hates it. I forgot something. I forgot something happened. He had a remark on it.
Well, who cares about him and his remarks?
That's right.
But yeah, no, let's find that, right? So now let's hear this, right? How does the Most High feel about 6-year-old rappers talking I'm gonna kill my mom, grandma, my aunt, whoever you want to kill, right? And I'm in the video I saw the beginning of it. You had people egging him on like it's a good thing, like oh he's going in there. No. Let's see what the Most High got to say about that.
Deuteronomy 21:18.
Now this is in the law. This is in the Torah, right? The Torah, the Bible, right?
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
A stubborn and rebellious son, a son that tells you that you want to kill you and your wife. Your son telling you that? What you gonna tell him? Clean your room and he's gonna say yes? Go on.
which will not obey the voice of his father,
Which that's what you see going on nowadays. Now, not only do these kids not obey their parents, they threaten their parents. You know? They turn around and there was a video of a child on Dr. Phil whose mom told him I think to be quiet or something, and he slapped her on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about you shut up. How does that feel, huh? I was like, yo, and the mom is like, calm down, you don't do this to me on TV. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. But let's keep going. So what's supposed to happen to children like that?
it says, for the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them.
So after they whoop his ass, he's still being rebellious.
Still on demon time.
Yeah, he's still on demon time. He being a little demon.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him.
So when you find out that your child is just a demon that doesn't hear anything, you can't get to them. You gotta lay hold on him. You gotta grab that child, right? Go ahead.
And bring him out unto the elders of his city.
Then you gotta bring him to the elders of the city. Go ahead. He spiked. Don't be man. What you doing, man? Shoot your ass, slap him in the head and shit, and bring his ass to the elders of the city.
The Omni-Man said, I can make another one.
That's it. That's it. Yep.
And unto the gate of his place, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious.
So they're going to tell the elders that this is their son, and he's stubborn and rebellious. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't mean that your son put his hand in the cookie jar, you caught him with his hand in the cookie jar. Hey, elders, he's a rebellious. No. For a parent, for the father and the mother, because they know this law. So they would have to bring the son. So for them to do that, they would have to reach the point where they're like, there's no getting through this. We try working, it's been 2 years. He's just getting worse and worse and worse. He's actually on demon time. So now we gotta take him to get the demons cleansed off of him.
If I can make a quick point now, imagine if this was in the hood over here in Harlem, and we know that you can't do this in this kingdom, obviously, but let's say it was, hypothetically. Oh, little Tyrone over there, he just got put to death. You still want to be rebellious?
Right.
Then it wouldn't be happening like that. But they know that, oh, well, if you chasten your children, they don't even let you touch them now. Never mind if they get too out of line, that they get put to death. You know? Reading on Deuteronomy 21 and 20. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
He's a glutton and a drunkard. Well,
And
so
all
that,
the
so
men,
that would mean that he got to be at least of some age where he's really a bad kid. Because when you get to a certain point, you're supposed to move out. You're supposed to become your own man. All right? You're no longer a child under your parents' control. So if you're still under your parents' control and you drinking and being a glutton at that young age, you really a demon.
and all the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
All the men of his city. So they're gonna come there. Try to talk about be rebellious, huh? They're gonna grab him and they're gonna what? They're gonna stone. Let's read that again.
It says, and the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
So if you picture this, you're gonna have a young child that's gonna be getting stoned to death by the men of the city. Go ahead.
That he died.
That he died. They're not gonna give him a slap. They're not gonna tie him down and whoop his ass with a belt. They're gonna stones. And you're gonna have something that's gonna take that stone that fits in one hand. You're gonna have that dude that takes that big ass stone, hurling that shit like it's a shot put. You know? Yeah. Crushing this, and that's, but hold on, that's in the law. That's so brutal. How can you guys say something like that? That's what's in the book of Deuteronomy. I didn't write that. None of us wrote that. This is what the Most High, the God of the Bible, said in the law to Moses to tell the children of Israel, this is what you're supposed to do when your child is rebellious. Now, we're obviously telling you that you can't do that in this society. You ain't supposed to be going around trying to do that in this society. That's not using wisdom. But we are informing you that this is a law that the Most High gave, that this is what's supposed to happen when you have a rebellious child. When you have a child that likes to be on demon time. Okay? That's according to the law. Is there more on that?
Yeah, it says, so shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
You hear that? So that is, and the Lord gives you the reason. He says you got to do this to put away evil from among you. So you wouldn't have a lot of occurrences like this. Probably like a few that are remembered. Yo, did you forget about such and such's kid? You know what happened to him, right? That they took him and they stoned him, right? You remember that, right? Then they probably gonna teach him that, when they're kids and they go and say, hey, don't be a bad kid. You don't want to end up like such and such. He got stoned to death, And the elder, they took them big stones and then those that witnessed it. There was a video of I think it was in Pakistan or Afghanistan or somewhere. And a woman, I don't know, I forget exactly what she did, but it was bad. And they did public punishment. So
the way she dressed or something like that?
Yeah, I think it might have been. But they covered her up and they got sticks. They didn't get canes, they didn't get whips. They got sticks. All right, sticks that you could hold like the end of a baseball bat, but not the top wasn't that large. Actual sticks. And I mean, these men are putting their back into it. Somebody tell you put your back into it, they putting they whooping her ass, hitting her ass with sticks. She starts off quiet. After like the first 5 hits, she starts screaming. She starts crying, she starts screaming, and then people are surrounding, but ain't nobody can do nothing. And it wasn't one man or two men, it was a nice group of men that sticks. All right, they sticks, boom, they whipping. Yep, sticks, exactly. They whipping and they whipping, and afterwards, he needs some sticks.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You need some stones.
Fire. But anyway, so sticks, you know what I mean? So they whoop her ass, and then you had the other women that were there watching. I'm telling you, whatever that chick did, them women, they'll be afraid to even be friends with her anymore. Because that's why you have public examples. There's a reason why they make public examples. On the reverse side of things, there's a reason why Amalek is doing what they're doing to Kyrie and here right now. They want to make a public example in front of everybody to show them, look, this is what happens when if any of you who work for us dare to come out and try to say some shit like this. You try that shit again, you see we're going to do you worse than we did Kyrie. That's what you do when you set a public example. You can make reference to it. Remember what we did to such and such? You don't want to end up like that, right? Because remember, we only get certain information as to what's happening in front. But there's things that take place behind closed doors. There's conversations that they have publicly. They might say, oh, we feel hurt that Kyrie would post something like that is so hateful. Behind the scenes, they're probably like, listen here, nigga. All right, don't ever forget who you are. Don't ever step out. Come here, give me that. You know what I'm saying? So these people know how to put on a facade in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, at their dinner tables, trust and believe that they're not friendly when our names come up.
The tap on the wrist is 5-game suspension and like $500,000 fine.
Right.
No
Like,
pay.
that ain't no tap on the wrist. That's like,
Yeah.
yo, man, you
With no pay.
Yeah, like you are endangering my livelihood. Like, ain't nobody gonna pick me up after this. Like, my profession, my career is over. Like, ain't nobody. His own teammates is dissing him. Shaq dissed him, called him an idiot.
Well, Shaq is just a big black demon anyway.
Yeah.
Shaq is like, if anybody read the book Animal Farm, Shaq is like, what's that big ass horse? Boxer, some shit like that. There was this one horse which was just like a powerhouse that just did whatever. He did the heavy duty and did all that work. You know what happened to his ass? His dumb ass consentingly walked onto the back of a truck and got sent to a slaughterhouse and got slaughtered. That's what Shaq is. His big black ass.
He wear dresses.
Really?
Yeah.
He sold his soul.
Shaq and some other 6'8" guy.
It's disappointing, man. It's disappointing. That's ultimately what it is. You know what I mean? We joke around and everything, but it's and there's seriousness to it. You know, because if you can't stand up for your nation, what's that movie? There was a Planet of the Apes movie. I forget which one. But you had this big orange looking or brown looking gorilla.
His name was Cornelius.
You remember this thing around the top? And he was working with the people, and he imprisoned his own kind.
Yep.
You know, now at the end, he tried to do right. You know, he tried to help him out, but he still died at the end. But it was like, bro, what happens to you? Because you know why at the end he tried to help his own kind? He realized that they don't give a damn about you. To them, you are still another one of them. You still an ape. You still a gorilla. So guess what? Whatever kind of celebrity you are, when you say, oh, in the public eye, I'm gonna diss Kyrie or I'm gonna diss Kanye and say that, oh, what you did was wrong, they're not gonna like you for that. They're not gonna give a damn. They're not gonna say, oh, because you did that, we're gonna give you another $1 million record deal or whatever the case is. At the end of the day, to them, you are just another one. Okay?
I was sold.
Yeah, and you make yourself an enemy of your own people and an enemy of them anyway. What you do is you drive away the shepherd, and now you're stuck with the wolves. And when they take off the sheep's clothing, now you're screwed. You see, and you got a bone to pick, or the Most High got a bone to pick with you. What else we got?
Real quick, I wanted to get
some Rock 39.
And then
quick precepts. Mark 8 and Mark 8, 36 and 37. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Right? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And that's what y'all do when y'all deal with these elite and in these industries, and y'all talk bad about your own brother to make them feel happy. But ultimately, the only thing that you're doing is you looking like a house Negro. In slavery time, you had those people like what was the name of the dude named Django? Steven?
I'm not. I don't know.
He was like, who that nigga on the net? And it's just like, yo, he was trying to uncover some secrets to get them caught. And he found out that Django was here to get his wife, rescue his wife. But he was doing everything in his right mind to get Leonardo DiCaprio to scorn them for whatever trick that they were trying to run on him. And he was happy as hell, like, I'm gonna find out about you. That's what he was doing to the lady. What's her name? Hilda? Bromhilda? He was like, I'm gonna find out what's going on with you. And ultimately, we be sellouts, and that's that house nigga. Yeah.
Can I bring a quick precept? Now, we usually bring this out for Esau, but this could be applied to our people as well. This is Psalm 50 and 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. So even our own people, even though we apply to Esau, it also applies to our people. That even our own people, like the example you gave with Shaq, they're both Israelites, and he's slandering his own brother.
Yep. Yeah, because like you said, it applies to Esau, but they do the same thing. You know, Jacob's doing the same actions, you know, in this son. And guess what? The Most High is going to bring judgment upon Jake for that. All right? And that's the heavy judgment that's coming. It tells you in 1 Peter 4:17 that it's going to begin here at the house of the Lord first. You know? So with all the famines that are coming, the war that's coming, the hell that's about to break loose over here, people think that that's not going to happen, but that's coming. And it's a very, very serious thing because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to life and death. Are you going to live or are you going to die? Are you going to be helped or are you going to be destroyed? That's what it's going to come down to. All right? That's pretty much what the only thing left for this place is the MOTV to come out and all hell's getting ready to break loose.
Rock 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
Right. So why is it wrong to seek out the wisdom of the ancient, the past? Because that's how you learn more. That's how you get a lot of information today is there, but they hide the mindset. Really, they try to change your mind so you don't go looking. And when you go looking, it's a problem because if it was such a big problem, why was it allowed to go up onto the site, onto Amazon in the first place? What's up with that? Why didn't they say, whoever, Bezos or whatever, you know, you guys allow this on your site. When they started getting that Kyrie, why didn't they get an Amazon? Why didn't they say, oh, you guys, you shouldn't allow this to go up on your site? They didn't. You know why? Because the problem is not the documentary. And the problem is not that it's on Amazon. The problem ain't even the fact that it's not about the video itself. It's about what effect it's having. They were mad about the questions that were being asked, about the mindset that was being changed. That is where the threat lies. If I show you the video and you watch it like, oh yeah, whatever, they don't care. That's what they want. That way they don't gotta worry about it. Yeah, it's cool. They ain't gonna, you know what I mean? But if I show you the video, you start thinking, oh shoot, what? Yeah, let me look more into this. They know that there's only one truth. And eventually, one question is going to lead to another, it's going to lead to another, and it's going to lead you right back to that truth, which exposes them. And that's why we titled it Exposed. Because guess what? Now there's a chain reaction that's been started of exposure. Dave Chappelle is exposing them, and there's going to be more and more information coming out. That's right, bring out the big book.
Yeah, the brother from the main camp, NYC, he made a video called Judah is being roused up.
Yeah, it's I got a long time ago.
You saw it?
Judah being roused up?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that video yet.
Oh, one of the brothers from the main camp, I forgot his name, Gabar.
Amawan Gabor?
Yeah, Amawan. And it's heavy because it's causing a snowball effect where, you know, more and more celebrities is jumping on board.
Oh, yeah.
And the video is just profound because you seeing celebrities that you would least expect say that they dealing with, they know that they Israel,
Right.
to where it's going to be, like I said, the snowball effect.
No, beautiful
Eventually
point.
turns into a small snowball going downhill. It rolls into like almost an avalanche equivalent to a giant boulder or whatever.
Yeah, no, it will, because according to prophecy, it says what? We stood upon our feet an exceeding great army. And it said that what? The spirit of life entered into us, right? And it started with that cry, Matthew 25, with the virgins, right? And that the Lord first woke up the prophets, the teachers. And then the rest of the nation continues to wake up. And now it's an exceeding great army where, yeah, you're going to have elect and non-elect, but at the end of the day, we're pretty much going to know that we're Israelites. And the Lord is going to use certain individuals for certain things.
No, I just want to bring up. This is the. I guess I didn't know he had a movie on. I just know about the books. As you can see
It's
here.
like how many chapters? I mean, how many books?
I think it's like 4. I think I got 3 of them, but I think there's 4. It's like a 4-part book. And basically, I'm just going to some of the questions that he asks, right? Because that's all the book asks. Like when he wakes up and realizes certain things, like he goes into how, like with Genesis 1, right? Like he saw, it says, and God said, let us make us in our image. So he started asking, hold on, if there's one God, why does it say let us? Us is plural. And he starts asking this question. He explains that in this book. So when he starts learning about the truth, he starts asking these questions like, well, why does the Bible say this? Why does the Bible say that? Why is it when I ask my pastors things like that, they don't have an answer for something, or they just sit there and say, oh, don't worry about that. So he starts asking questions. So I'm just go through some, at least like a few of these questions. It says, okay, I'll start with this one. It says, why do some Middle Eastern store owners call blacks monkeys and slaves, but yet they take our money every day? Why don't we boycott when as a race we are being treated unfairly, or when other races exhibit racism towards us but still take our money? Okay, it says one right here. It says, why are they spraying chemtrails in the sky?
That's a good question.
Why do we have fluoride in our water?
That's another good question.
Why are so many jobs leaving our cities? Why are rich blacks investing in the prison industry?
But you see the problem with these questions? When if somebody that doesn't know hears that, they'll say, wait, rich blacks are investing in prison systems? What is that about? See, when you ask the why, then somebody got to ask the what. Wait, that's true? That's the problem, right? It's like saying, because when you ask a question like this, you're implicitly assuming that this is actually happening. You're stating that this is happening. You're just asking why. So that's like saying, why, if they were to say, why do Jays control everything in the media? Wait, Jays control everything in the media? Wait, what how do you, let me go see what that's about. That's the problem.
Rhetorical question.
Exactly.
Another why says, why are we given slave movies every year from Hollywood? Why are billionaires dumping stocks? Why are they getting rid of the unions? Why is everyone hoarding gold and silver? I'll jump over here. It says, these are interesting ones. It says, why are government agencies buying millions of ammunition every month? Who are they going to use this ammunition on? Why is the government hoarding and limiting ammunition and trying to take away our rights to bear arms? That's what Hitler did. Why do they want our guns? Oh, last one. It says, why is there so much surveillance going on nowadays with facial recognition, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email tracking, and money tracking? That's just there's a whole list, but I just want to do a few of them.
So you know what's interesting is that they'll make it seem like the movie or the book is only about him talking about the Jays and why they're so evil and yada yada yada. But if you notice, there's some very good questions that are asked in here that touch on some important topics that they don't want to come out. So to steer you away from it altogether, you don't even gotta look at it. Just take my word for it. I said it's full of it. It's full of it.
Right. And some of the chapters, I'll just read some of the chapters. It says, the Garden of Eden, Africa and Mesopotamia. Now he goes off and he thinks that, I went to this guy before, he thinks that the Garden of Eden is Africa when it's not, it's Jerusalem. It says, another chapter says, the Great Deception, Gentile or Jew, genealogy of the European Ashkenazi Jews, the genealogy of the Spanish Sephardic Jews, the children of Ham, Ethiopians, Cush or Cush, and he says Israelites, but we're not Hamites. It says who are the Arabs and where they come. So it's not just focusing on them; it's focusing on every other nation.
Right.
So how does any of this add up to it being anti-Semitic when he's talking about everybody? It says,
why is it not anti-Arabic?
It says, what does, these are some of the chapters, it says, what does the Bible say about the children of Israel? Who are the Edomites and how are they related to the modern day Jews?
See, that's the problem right there.
They don't want to be exposed to the
man,
Edomites.
I'm telling you, man, these Amalekites were losing their minds seeing this shit. How the hell was this allowed to go up and made public in the first place? Fucking me.
Yeah, because Edom, you know, Edom is the biggest mystery to this earth right now. Everybody want to claim that they don't know or they've been extinct or they gone, but the big secret is that they walking amongst you right now.
Yeah,
those Edomites is the ones that's trying to suppress the truth.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Jays are Edomites as well. So, you know, of course they're going to try to suppress that truth, and that's what really caused it. Ain't even about the A word. It ain't even about, you know, who's Semitic or who's not. It's about who's Esau. Because they don't want to be known as that, because then once you start going through prophecies and you start going into books like Obadiah and the fate of the Edomites, then you like, oh shit, this shit kind of adds up. Y'all the ones with space system programs, and y'all the ones who the lowest of heathens, and you know the outcome of it all. It says the Lord said, I will bring thee down. So if you don't want to be brought down, you're going to act like you're not even that person. You're going to assume the identity is somebody else, you know. And you're also going to try to like build a disguise. Right. You know, like when you a wanted person, you change your description. You dye your hair, you put on the glass. You know how you try to make a disguise when you being wanted. So that's what the whole thing is.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. That's why it's so dangerous.
There's a couple more that's good.
That's it.
That's a good thing that he just said. It says, next chapter says, what did the Hebrew Israelites look like from historical accounts?
Yeah, so which version is this?
Oh, this is, I think this is the first book.
I'll look into that.
I'll send you the link.
Thank you.
It says, another chapter, was the creation of the state of Israel biblical prophecy? And we just go through that in Isaiah's second chapter.
That's it.
Another one that says, why are we in financial bondage today? Or one chapter says, who is your daddy? The government or God or the government. It says, destroy the mind and morals, control, weaken the mind of a people, and the body will follow. It says eugenic.
Oh, look at that satanic symbolism in the world.
Oh, shit, I missed that one. Yeah, one chapter says satanic symbolism in the world.
Now I'm sure that if you go into that, you'll find out and you'll be able to link a lot of satanic symbols to a lot of well-known symbols today that are used. And then when you look into, well, who are the authors of these well-known symbols, you can say, oh, wow, looks like a lot of them are owned by such and such. But that's not, no, you can't make those connections.
It says eugenics, the Negro Project is the Black Agenda 21.
Interesting.
One says, how does mass incarceration affect the success of Black America? Drugs meant to destroy blacks, war on drugs, or war on blacks? And there's like 50 chapters, but basically it's a lot of questions that he asks, and he goes through some of the nations that. But you do have to watch him because he goes off on certain things. He sometimes thinks that Israel's and Ethiopians were Hamites, but were not.
Right.
And I've heard him say too that the so-called white man is Japheth.
Oh, Japheth is.
So he has like a. But you see, that's another reason why Esau might let him out there too. Like,
Yeah.
see, because the truth is like a wildfire that's everywhere. So they're like, all right, how do we counteract the real prophets? Okay, well, we could guide you to this way, but don't look at that.
Right.
But really, there's misinfo in there too. So imagine if Kyrie had put up, the Apostles of Great Millstone video. This is World War III just based off him putting this guy up, and this guy's off.
That's it.
It's like,
Delete it, get him out of here.
Send the troops.
send a nuke to his house right now.
That's it. The grid would have been shut down. They would have. No. I'm telling you, at that very moment, you know what you would have seen? You would have seen what's the Jersey City shooting. You would have seen the Joy Morgan case. You would have seen the Covington High School situation. They would have dug up videos of Edomites coming up, controversial videos. They would have clipped out what it came in. That is exactly what they would have bombarded the world with the initial picture of, wow, look at these terrorists that Kyrie Irving is posting on his social media. That's what they would have done. They would have not have, and then they would have taken up all our videos to make sure that you can't get the full story. See, right now, you go to the article on Rolling Stones, they say it's full of anti-Sem tropes. You can go to the book and read it for yourself.
Yeah, I just read some of the chapters for you. What's so anti-Semitic about it?
Yep.
None.
You can go watch the movie for yourself and find out. This is my opinion on this. I don't think that's the case. You think they would let you do that for you? No. Listen, we ain't gonna do that. Take down all them videos. The only info you get on them is the info we give you on them. And if you see any of them, report them. You know, ultimately that's where they want to get to. Speaking of Amalek.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say Esau got these controlled because like I said, the truth is a wildfire that spread. So he has to have like, how can we control it? The truth is really out there. How can we control it so they'll have a group like IUIC?
Right.
They'll have ISUPK.
Right.
They'll have dudes like Ronald Dalton, even though really this is a lot of good information and the Lord has controlled it anyways, because those that are meant to really come into the full truth, they're going to hear, they're going to read Hebrews to Negroes like a lot of us did, and they're going to see, oh, that is true, and then they're going to look into it more, and then they're going to find the real men of it.
Exactly. Yep. And that's why they're so mad, because the disinformation is just giving us more information. The Lord has blessed us with the Spirit to filter what is correct and what is not correct. You know? But yeah, let's finish off on that, what you had in, I think, Sirach 31, I believe? 39, that's right. Because, hey, the truth is out, man, and the truth is the truth.
It says, so Rock 39:1, I'll read it from the top again. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy.
And that's what we're doing. And how are we doing that? By reading the scriptures. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, all right, which is the Bible. That is the ultimate source. All of these other books just give you little information, extra here and there, secular information here and there. But the true source is the scriptures. All right, and eventually they're trying to find an angle to come at it. To say that, you know what, we gotta cancel the Bible, or we gotta say anybody that says that the Bible says this, you gotta watch them, because that's not really what it says. You got it?
Reading on, he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
He will be there also, and that's the diligence. You know, to study, to learn, to grow. Go ahead.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables.
And that's what that's why we're able to go into the scriptures, go into the mysteries, break it down, understand it, you know, teach it. So the Lord has blessed us with the ability to know the whole book. Go on.
He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men.
Because you gain that's it. You gain that discernment. You know, go on.
He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins.
Yeah, so you can never underestimate the power of the Most High, because all of this, our safety is in control of the Lord. All right, the Lord, it's in the Lord's hand. All right, so whatever happens to us is ultimately sanctioned by the Lord. That's why we're out here speaking the truth boldly, because no matter what, matter of fact, the reason why we're out here is because of the Lord. The scriptures say, who has resisted it? Yep, there it goes again. Who have resisted his will? Okay, and none of us, you can't resist the will of the Lord. And the Lord has set us up to be teachers and prophets, so we can't change that. You know, your essence, your purpose as to why you're here, if you're a man of the Lord, is to do exactly what you're doing right now. Go on. Yeah, and that, hey, the scripture says, right, that I will give thee praise and fame in every land which you will put to shame. Now, whether it's infamy or not, the Lord is putting it on the map. Now, okay, say the Lord does this, right? Now everybody knows about it. And then the Lord says, boom, now it brings spiritual power. I mean, at that point, what are these devils going to do? Because, see, you may have a whole bunch of individuals that are on your side saying, yeah, these guys are impossible, yeah, these guys are crazy. And then here it is, they start performing spiritual power acts. They start healing people in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You're going to lose all them people. That's why the Pharisees were saying, look, we gotta take Yahushai out, because everybody's going to believe on him. They can't. What do we have versus what does he have? He's doing miracles. What are we saying? Now, he's a liar. He's not the son of God. That's why they have to frame him.
What? You said, the Romans would take away our place in the nation. Exactly. That was some 50 cent shit.
Yep.
You're making it hot, man. Come on, relax.
Exactly.
So Rock 39:5, he will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins. When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer.
And that's what we're doing. All right? That's what we're doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. There's more?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. You know? So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, as we title it, man, exposed. All right? Because the truth is out, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go back. You can't undo it. You can't take it back. It's been said. What's been said, it's been said. And this is the spirit of the Lord working, you know, and spreading the gospel out there. Because what did Yahweh Shai say? The gospel is going to be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, and then shall the end come. So it doesn't matter how you receive it, the end is still coming. Now you either repent or you don't, but destruction is coming. All right? So anyway, Buzz, got anything else? All right, so we're going to here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Yahushai.
Shalom.